Hi, thanks for watching. This is Durham, and the weekend, 25th to 28th of June, this is where a research group spent a weekend in a nearby hotel. And one of the reasons we went was to check out the cathedral. Now, I made a video a couple of years ago regarding this cathedral, and well, actually, one of the first things I looked at when I seen its location, one of the first things I thought about was this. And this is Notre Dame in Paris. And the location is pretty similar. And just like all the star forts and all the other cathedral power stations, there's water all around. So there's that. Before we visit the cathedral, I'd like to show you some clips for a video that is quite relevant to what we'll show you at the cathedral. And for that, I'll be showing you clips from this channel, which I suggest that you subscribe to. I've like a lot of people, I've known about the giant trees for several years now, and I was always asking, where are all the branches? Well, this guy's went and found them. Right.
So I set some of these out just to show you a good example of kind of what we're seeing here. And then you see the different ledges and all the different ledges and edges. And they just continue to break down and fall apart. There's so many different designs and different kind of pieces. They just all break down. They got the ledges. And they always got gaps between them. And then pieces like this will fall off. Okay? That's all you're seeing there. Okay? So we're going to head up.
These are the giant branches. Now petrified and turned to stone. That's awesome. Brilliant finds. Unbelievable that they're not actually wood. Well, no longer anyway. And for scale, you can see the street lamp and the car. So these were giant branches from the giant trees.
Between them. There's a gap there and a gap there. And I'm showing you throughout this video and my other videos how the gaps are. The bigger the tree, the bigger the gaps. And you know, like I say, this chunk right here, fell away. This chunk right here fell away. Eventually the whole thing will be gone. Watch, I want you to remember what I'm saying here. Okay, you see the gap here in between the flat edge pieces. And I'm going to walk in between them. Okay? Just remember me saying this and walk in between them. And when I come across an example, I'll refer back to this. Okay? So we just walked in between the gap. And there's your gap again. So I want to show you this. I'm actually going to walk around over here. But this is really, really cool, man. Look at this. If people could deny, after looking at this, that the quartz doesn't come from the tree, I don't know what to say. This is just like the coolest, one of the coolest things I've seen lately. Look at this. To go around this, figure a way around this thing, because there's a race it up. Looks like there's a drop off over there. Look at this. Wow, man. It's just so incredible, man. You know, that looks so fresh. Like some parts have fell off. Wow. Okay, I'm going to film this again because I want you to see this. This is just really incredible, man. Because opposed to looking at this, at the color that the tree was not, okay? This is what probably the most clearest piece I've seen in 4 years. And I don't see any fresh stuff down here that's fallen. Maybe it has, and this really isn't in the elements that much, and it's just colored down here. I want you to look at this. You see the color difference from here? That's weathered. It's got the moss on it. And just remember how everything breaks off flat with the ledges and edges. This looks so fresh. Like real wood. That is incredible. Well, You know, and eventually this will turn like sandstone. When it gets weather enough and gets smooth where you don't see all the wood grain and stuff, it'll look just like sandstone. That's all it is.
And with that, I'd like to thank Mike for giving me permission to feature his video, and cheers pal. This is a short clip from a brilliant researcher, Michelle Gibson, and again it's quite relevant to cathedrals. Video description. What she's showing here is direct current goes in one direction, alternating current goes in both directions. The other thing she's showing you, when we're looking at cathedrals, is terrorise, a descent in a hedral. It's a geometrical solid with a specific number of plane faces. And she also shows the geometry involved with a cathedral. And we see these in all the cathedrals. Right, and this is the architecture. And the majority of cathedrals, well, they all have like a similar style of door. And no matter what cathedral you go to, you'll see the same style of door. Right. So let's go down a wee bit here and look at this cathedral. Oops, there you go. And you can see quite clearly that it's on a hill. Right. So the reason we went is the best way to research anything is boots on the ground. And this is the hill that takes you up to the cathedral. Lots of old buildings.
Here you got a yellow bunny.
Right, first of all, we'll have a look at the outside of the cathedral. Now, apparently, they say this is 900 years old or something. And, well, for it to be that old, there's not a lot of dead people. There's very few gravestones, considering the age. And like most graveyards that I've visited in the last few years, there's very few old dead people. Well, this one's here's March 1932. And the next one I'm looking at, and they're all similar in age. And this one, I don't know what that means on top of it, but that's 1803. I don't know what that means. So, that's always confused me. Where are all the dead people? So the construction here is, as I say, you can see quite clearly it's on top of a hill. So did somebody decide to dig a hole and build this? And when did that happen? The repairs they've done on this building are quite blatant. They don't even try to match it up with the existing structure. And I'll show you what I mean. Is this tech? Probably. Is it covered up? Maybe. So if you look at that, I mean, that's pretty blatant. I mean, they never even tried. And it's in a ditch. I have no idea how deep it goes, if there's any floor below, or as I say, they don't even try. And these stained glass windows are actually an addition. So we've got a moat surrounding this cathedral, and we'll have a closer look at a lot of the older stonework that's been repaired so many times. I don't know, this is a cow for some reason. I have no idea why, but that's what that is. Maybe somebody knows why they've got a cow on the side of a cathedral. And there's a couple of saints, probably, and the blatant repair work. And there's lots of various stages of disrepair. And you'll see what I think is, well, lots of tree rings on this stonework. And some of them, well, you just can't argue with them. Now, I don't know why these windows are bricked up. And I'm thinking maybe it is the other side that's important. No, the exterior. But what's on the other side of this? So like I say, there's lots of what look like tree rings. So, did these ancient giant trees from way back in the day, did they turn to sandstone? It certainly looks like it. And there are a lot more examples all over the walls. So anybody else thinks that this is anything other than tree rings, let me know in the comments, because that's what it certainly looks like to me. Now, I'm not saying this is actually part of the tree trunk, probably the branches. If the giant trees were as large as what we think, then this would maybe be the branches of the giant trees. And they're everywhere. Like I say, the repair work is shocking. I mean, it's like, I don't know, I'm a decorator, so it'd be similar to taking one strip of wallpaper from a patterned wall and replacing it with a different pattern. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Right. So like I say, they built it in a ditch. And there's more gravestones, and like I said, they're all like 19th century. I find them everywhere in the country. And there's lots of faces in this place as well. That'll be a king and queen probably. They'll do some ugly faces. So I wonder why it's bricked up. Why do these windows get bricked up? I'm guessing it must be for the inside of the building, not the outside. And there's more tech. And more bricked up windows. And there's an empty niche. I wonder what was in there at some point in the past. Because I don't see why you would create a niche like that and then put nothing in it. Right. There's no markings on a couple of these graves either. The stones are just weathered, like most of the building. But I'm not buying it that it's 900 years old. That don't fly for me. And like I said earlier about the doors, it's the same design as, well, every other cathedral pretty much. And there's lots of parts of this that the public's not allowed access to. And that chapel here, that's one of the areas. It's just a small chapel and it's got the same structure as the doors. It's the same style. Just a wee bit smaller. Right, and that's a large tower. Another empty niche. And more bricked up windows. Or were they ever windows? Right. So welcome to Durham Cathedral. And here we go. Let's have a look inside. The doors are pretty immense. It's a one-way system. I'm going the wrong way. So we'll have a look at the interior of Durham Cathedral. The Shrine of St Cuthbert. Right, so I keep thinking about sound, resonance, frequency, and why there's so much detail on the ceiling. There's like lots of intricate design, and I don't know why. maybe it's something to do with sound, resonance and frequency. Another thing I was thinking about, and I was wondering, all these pillars that are everywhere, I wonder why. Are they strategically placed for a reason? I have no idea. Right. So that's definitely kind of recently been bricked up, I think. Shoddily. And here's an organ. And for some reason, this cathedral has 5 organs. Why? I thought one would be enough. But there's 5 in here. Why would that be? And lots of fancy woodwork. I don't know whether that's ebony or it's been stained. It looks like ebony. Or it could be anything. Coat of paint, cover it. Right, so a lot of these pillars are intricately designed as well as what the ceiling is. And it seems a waste of time and effort for no reason. It just makes no sense. Why it's not just an arch ceiling. And again, remember the rose window, well, all the windows are additions when it's repurposed as a place of worship. Because at one time, that's not what it was for. And this is a remembrance for the Durham miners who gave their lives in the pits and died in the darkness, like me doing a tunnel. So why are some of the pillars differently cut than others? And this window was donated by Mrs. Abbott, apparently in 1875. It's a gift, as you do. Right. So like I'm saying about the pillars and stuff on the walls on the outside, is that because there's something happens in the inside? And you can see here that this is the stonework, and then this has been cut out for some apart. I don't know why. There's another one on the other side. Same thing. So what's all the spaces for? Is that for sound? Why are the pillars different? And I don't think this is a clock just for telling the time. And there's more to this than just telling the time. Right. Well, why there's a thistle there? Maybe a Scot built it. Right. So it's quite a fancy wee cloak. I don't know what the shields represent either. And why that's cut the way it's cut. And there's more fancy artwork on the ceiling. But it's not just plasterwork. That looks like an add-on. And that's a very fancy pulpit. These things that blow your mind. So I knew these were here because Chris had been on the Saturday, this was the Sunday. So what do they look like then? So I took a black light with me to see if I could highlight them better. And see what else shows up in between. Because the black light shows up anything white or anything light. And these are everywhere. There's loads of these pillars. So how do they make them? How do they do that?
How they got that? How did you go that to the bottom of the sea? And make it look like marble?
It's a very small altar for a big cathedral. Like I say, there's 5 organs in this building. And they're for different reasons. Fascinating. So how's that done then? They're no inlaid. They're part of the pillar. And this here, is this a stork? Because it certainly looks like a stork. And we associate storks with rebirth. I don't know. Or is it regeneration? No idea. And there's lines at the foot of this, and you get a closer look at them later. And that's inlaid. Pretty fancy for a pulpit, don't you think?
Send it. Three songs. The last one got near someone was 16 years. He came to us. Go back and organ. There's another organ the other side. I'm going to get a Christmas bit. There's a chilling. Yeah. I'll get as well, send you. Send you chilling. Yeah. Yes, as well, some trees. Ready to
So they say the William Wind Lobster marks the founding of the Diocese of Durham in AD 995 and was given in memory of Robert Tobias Binks in 1880, 1950 and Jane Watson and his wife 1885, 1934, all Thornley in this county. That'll be a family shield probably.
Definitely a bit G-Ray Sunday. Yeah, G-Ray's there. Gee, is that it? Ah, here's one of these pillars. Right. So there's not much on this one.
No, so yeah.
These are awesome. Quite big as well, Sandy. I don't know what this. So you only go halfway up. You only don't you go the right way up, but the little here, the ones at the top aren't polished. The ones at the top aren't polished, but they've still got the same things on them. Yeah. So these ones are all polished. Yeah. And why are there some in between? So what's he been dug out? It's been shaped to. Yeah. It's been shaped to fit them in. All over the place here. Unbelievable. Right up to the top. These are fascinating, Sandy. So why is something because there's something special.
Yeah.
And they're here for a reason.
Of course, yeah.
A tribute of affection in the memory of two children by afflicted parents, George and Elizabeth Barrington, born February 12, 1797, released November 30th, 1804, and Francis Dane Barrington was born the 20th of March, 1807, and released. They never died back then, they just were released.
Right, Sandy. I wonder if this is made of wood and covered with something overlaid to that copper. That's the only bit that's left. So that's what that was.
Yeah, the sculpture of the dead Christ alongside his grieving Mother Mary is carved from beechwood with the addition of unpolished brass to represent light and life. Even in the midst of death, God's light is not extinguished. Right.
That's David the First of Scotland. That's David the First of Scotland. You look too good.
I've got also next door. She's got a table made out of a tree stump, and it's petrifying on the outside, you know, where the bark is. Yet the inside, you can see the rings, and it's definitely wood when you knock it. Not as many when you go up there.
No, it doesn't see it. It's...
Did you get the window up back?
I'll put the big window, aye.
No, the far right one. It's got Masonic symbols on
Oh,
it.
is it?
It's very far right there. You can actually knit through the ankles.
Right. I think these things are fascinating.
They're amazing. Yeah, sorry, that one.
Yeah, got it.
You got the bottom one. And you got the C9.
Right. There's the... And finally, well, we were away for that weekend. It was Lynn's birthday, and her daughter made her a beautiful big flat earth birthday cake. And there's the flat earth where we live, and she's put in other lands. And inside this earth is a big chocolate cake. Thanks for watching. Please comment.